Now let's talk about audit fees. In this section, we'll discuss about audit fees. Okay. So it's a very practical area where ethics and independence can be challenged. So here's the situation. Normally, audit fees are negotiated with and paid by the audit client. And that is, you can say, like a standard practice. And the user of financial statement generally accept it. But here is the problem that, this arrangement can create a self-interest threat and also create intimidation threat to independence. Suppose, let me give you an example. Suppose you are an auditor and your client is paying you a big fee, thus just paying a big fee. Okay. Naturally, you might feel pressure to keep the client happy because you don't want to lose that income. And that is, you can say, like a self-interest threat. Your financial interest could influence your judgment. Now imagine the client start pushing you, reduce the fee, or we will go to another firm. So that is an intimidation threat. You feel pressure to compromise your independence just to keep the engagement. Now, how do we deal with this type of situation? So here we have one safeguard, and the safeguard is to bring an appropriate reviewer. You have to bring an appropriate reviewer. This one. Appropriate reviewer means a professional with unnecessary knowledge, skills, and experience and authority to review the objective manner of the relevant work performed or service provided. So, appropriate reviewer is someone not involved in the audit to check whether the P is reasonable given the scope and the complexity of the work. So that reviewer can also look at the audit work itself to ensure that quality isn't compromised. An independent check helps balance the situation. Okay. Now let's move on to discuss about the contingent fee. These are fees that depend on outcome of a transaction or the result of services. Contingent fee calculated on a predetermined basis relating to the outcome of a transaction or the result of the services performed. Clear? For example, we will pay you more if the audit show profit, or your fee depends on whether we win this takeover bid. So here is the key point. Contingent fee are strictly prohibited in audit engagement. The firm must not charge directly or indirectly a contingent fee. This means that contingent fees are strictly prohibited in audit engagement. And why? Because they completely destroy the independence. If your payment depends on the result, you are no longer objective. You are financially tied to the outcome. So remember, this is not allowed. Mean the non-contingent fee is the contingent fee is not allowed, and the reason is because you are just tied to the outcome. Clear? So if you are financially tied to the outcome, then how you will be objective? So the point is that audit fees normal but risky, and that creates self-interest plus intimidation. I had told you before. The safeguard that independent reviewer checks fee and work, and then contingent fee outcome based. So that is why it's not allowed in audit. Clear? So what you have to understand here that audit fees are normal, but they can create self-interest and intimidation threats. The safeguard is to have an independent reviewer to assess the P and review the work. And most importantly, contingent fees, the fees that are based on the outcome, are never allowed in audit engagement because they destroy the independence. Clear? Now let's move on. We have the total fees and proportion of the fee for other services. Total fees, proportion of fees for other services. So, this is another important area in audit ethics, the proportion of fees. This is about how much the auditor income comes from one client, especially when the firm is providing both audit and non-audit services. So let's understand this in a simple word, that suppose you are an auditor and one client pays you not only for the audit but also for a lot of other services, maybe tax advice, consultancy, or you may say like system design. So if a large proportion of your total incomes come from that one client, what happened? You start depending too much on them, and that is the self-interest threat, because losing that client would hurt your firm financially, and sometimes it can create you can say like intimidation threat, because the client know you rely heavily on their fees, so they might pressure you to compromise your independence. Clear? So what are the factors that should be considered? You have to consider some factors, the factors that are relevant in evaluating the level of such a threat, including first, the first one is look at the ratio of non-audit fees compared to audit fee. The ratio P for other service to the audit fee, which means that you have to compare the non-audit fees to audit fee. If the non-audit fees are much higher, then the threat increases. The second check. The second check is the length of time. The length of time during which a high ratio has existed. This means that check the length of time this situation has existed. So if it has been going on for years, the dependence is strong. And the third one is nature, scope, and purpose of other services. So you'll have also consider the nature and the scope of those other services. Are they recurring? Are they critical to the client? The more important they are, the bigger the threat. So what can you do as a safeguard? So here we have an example. If you see here, safeguards include, the first one is having appropriate reviewer. We have discussed this earlier. So one safeguard is to bring an appropriate reviewer, someone who wasn't involved in the audit or other services, to review the audit work. That way independence is checked from outside. Another safeguard is reduce the extent of non-audit services. Reducing the extent of non-audit services you provided to that client. So in simple word, don't let one client dominate your firm income. Spread your services across different clients to stay independent. And this is very important. So what we have to understand here, that the threat we have discussed, self-interest and intimidation. The factor you need to consider is ratio, time, and nature of services. The safeguard you have to do, that is independence reviewer and reduce non-audit services. So let me recap quickly that when a large proportion of fees come from non-audit services for one client, independence is at risk. The threats are self-interest and intimidation. We have discussed this. You evaluate the ratio, the time period, and the nature of services. And the safeguard are simple. Get an independent reviewer and reduce non-audit services. Okay. Now let's move on to the total fees overdue. Total fee overdue fees. So this is also a very practical issue that can directly affect the audit independence. A very practical issue. And this is also affecting the audit independence. Imagine you are auditing a company, but the client hasn't paid last year audit fee. You have to remember this because in exam you may be asked question like this. Imagine you are auditing a company, but the client hasn't paid last year audit fee yet. So you are still working on this year audit, but those old fees are overdue. What happened? A self-interest rate arises. Why? Because now you are financially dependent on the client paying you back, and that can influence your judgment. That can influence your judgment. So the key point here is that the firm should always try to obtain payment of overdue fees before issuing the audit report. If you don't, your independence is at risk. Your independence is at risk. Now, what are the factors? What are the factors do we look at to judge the level of that? So factors that are relevant in evaluating of such a self-interest include the first one, significance of ODPs to the firm. So first, you have to consider the significance of OD fees. If it is a small amount, maybe not a big issue. But if it is a large proportion of your income, that is very serious. The second point, the length of time the fees have been overdue. So a few weeks might be manageable, but if it's month or years, the threat is much higher. And the third one is the client ability and willingness to pay. If the client is struggling financially or unwilling to pay, so that increase the risk. Now, what are the safeguards that can be applied? So the first safeguard here, if you see example of safeguards, including obtaining a partial payment of OD fees. This means that obtain the partial payment of OD fees before continuing the engagement. Even a partial payment reduce the threat. The enhanced safeguard is to bring an independent reviewer, someone not involved in the audit, to check the audit work. You have to remember this. Independent reviewer means someone not involved in the audit to check the audit work. So that way there is an external check on the quality and independence. Clear? Now here is the critical point. If a significant portion of fees remain unpaid for a long time, the firm must ask itself two questions. Are these overdue fees basically acting like a loan to the client? If you see here, the overdue fees might be equivalent to a loan to the client. I mean, are these overdue fees basically acting like a loan to the client? And the second question is it even appropriate to continue or renew the audit engagement? If the answer suggests independence is compromised, the firm should seriously reconsider continuing the audit. So we have understand here the threat, self-interest, mean unpaid fees, dependency. Factor you have to consider significance, time, and overdue, and client ability and willingness. Safeguard, you have partial payment, independence reviewer, and the key point is long overdue fees, loan, reconsider the engagement. So overdue fees create a self-interest threat because the auditor becomes a financially dependent on the client, and the seriousness depends on how big the fees are, how long they have been overdue, and whether the client can or will pay. So safeguards include partial payment and independent review. And if the overdue fees are significant and long standing, so they may be treated like a loan. In that case, the auditor must decide whether it's even appropriate to continue the audit. Okay. And the next lecture we'll discuss about total fees, peer dependency, all audit client. Okay. Thank you for